guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Dan.
Together we are the Office Blokes.
Yeah,
correct.
To watch videos on the internet sometimes, don't we?
We do.
I say sometimes, 3 times a day, every day, 365.
It's a lot.
Correct.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
It is a lot. Which sport is tougher, rugby league or American football?
Oh,
It's
wow.
It's a good debate to have.
Yeah.
Years and years and years ago, I would have said rugby league all day long, because you used to see the American footballers, all padded up, and you used to think, they've got all pads on, they've got helmets on. But the last few years, the amount of American football we've watched and getting a bit more educated about it, I mean, it is a violent sport.
So is rugby league.
Really
and
is. Absolutely.
Rugby league is super fit. I mean, crazy levels of fitness.
It's non-stop, isn't it?
It's non-stop.
Yeah.
And it's constant sort of like clashing, constant head-ons, the same sort of thing. I don't know, it's a tough one to call that. I'd have to see this video to see how they analyse it.
Is it gonna? Do you think it could be similar to bare knuckle boxing versus using gloves? People hit harder with gloves on because they've not got the danger of breaking their hands and stuff. So they level out a little bit, don't they?
I get what you mean. Yeah.
You put the pads on for NFL, but people run faster and hit harder.
And also using the heads, and because it's got helmets on, it is part of the game. It is part of a sort of like a tool to use, isn't it, for tackles and what have you.
When you see rugby league, very very different from rugby union. People who don't know, they're two different code, league and union. And what a lot of people see on TV nowadays is rugby union. Rugby league's more of a northern British sport.
It's very much northern,
but also Australia. Big into rugby league. It's huge in Australia, which is the NRL's Australian.
Yeah. Right. Well, let's check it out then. Which sport is tougher, rugby league or American football? Let's do it.
12 of 19 in this half. Oh my goodness! Gets it on there.
Welcome. In this video, we will be discussing and comparing the toughness of two of the most physically demanding sports outside of combat sport.
Rugby is a tough sport, man.
Rugby league and American football. Specifically, we will be comparing the NRL competition in Australia to the NFL in the US.
What do you reckon a tougher game is?
Both sports require a high level of skill, athleticism, and endurance. But which one is tougher? Let's find out. Rugby.
I'm going to say straight off the bat, I bet more rugby players get up to lots of naughty behaviour and like frat boy style behaviour of like fighting and drinking pints of piss. And
that's more rugby, more rugby union.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just always associate that with rugby.
Yeah, rugby league doesn't have that sort of like, it probably does, but not as much as rugby union does.
I'd also say that the American football players, I would guess on average, are probably bigger in general.
Yeah,
I would
probably
say.
right.
I think they're just that bit tall, a bit bigger, a bit more athletic.
I think for American football, you've got to be. If you're a quarterback, you won't be able to see over the line if you're only like 5'6".
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Whereas in rugby, you can be 5'6" and be a scrum half.
Yeah, still be a good player. Yeah, definitely.
Rugby league and American football are both very physical, full contact sports that are played with a ball and involve two teams trying to score points. However, there are some key differences between the two sports. First, let's take a look at the NRL. This sport, formerly known as rugby league, originated from England and is played by two teams of 13 players. The game is played on a field that is slightly larger than a soccer field and is divided into two 40-minute halves. What makes the NRL so tough is the physicality and pace of the game. Players are constantly hitting each other at high speeds and must be able to take and deliver hard hits.
I felt that. Size of him as well.
I know, yeah. Oh, some of them are huge though, aren't they?
Oh, I mean, this guy, you'd have money on this. When this guy starts moving in the blue and white, right? And some of these just team up, and just go back on that a little bit there, Dave. You'd put money on the guy coming in with the ball, winning this.
Yeah.
So tough is the physicality and pace of the game. Players are constantly hitting each other at high speeds and must be able to take and deliver hard hits.
Flattened.
Stopped right in his tracks.
We are here with NFL superstar and Detroit Lions running back Reggie Bush. Are you surprised about those hit-ups and the lack of protective gear?
I mean, I know enough about rugby league to know how physical it is, so I'm not surprised, but to see it in person is different than watching on TV. It hurts to watch. It hurts me to watch.
The game also requires a high level of endurance, as players must be able to maintain their stamina under fatigue for the full 80-minute match, which seems like an eternity compared to the NFL. Now, let's take a look at the NFL. This sport, also known as American football, is a full-contact sport played by 2 teams of 11 players. The game is played on a field that is 100 yards long and is divided into 4 15-minute quarters. What makes the NFL so tough is the explosiveness, speed, and agility required to play the game. Players must be able to outmaneuver their opponents and make quick, precise movements.
You got to be explosive. You got to be very agile. You got to have a really good vision, like he has. So all those same things that Jared has, man. I think he'll be able to play in the NFL.
NFL players are some of the largest and strongest athletes in the world, and the sport is known for its high-impact tackles and physical play. The game also requires a high level of endurance, not as much as what we'd observe in the NRL, but players must be able to maintain their stamina for the full 60-minute match. So, which sport is tougher? Many make the argument the NRL is tougher because the players don't use helmets, pads, and layers of protective gear.
I do. I look at American football, I'm like, take off the fucking helmets. What's up with the shoulder pads?
But on the flip side, this can mean the NFL is the tougher sport because the players don't hold back and go at it 1,000%, with zero care of self-preservation, increasing the chances of whiplash and head injuries.
If you talked about contact, there could be an argument that NFL is tougher because they have those pads on, so that
Bloke in a bar.
Yeah. What's our first Bloke Studios there? Is that ours?
I wonder how long he's been doing it for, if he's been inspired or not.
He's got bloke on his shirt as well.
Yeah, definitely the fitness thing is a thing with me because in rugby league it is so non-stop. They're running at people, they get tackled and people are just on top of them, aren't they?
Yeah, they're holding them, try to get him, so everyone can get back.
Wriggle to get up, and then they put it back and then they go in again. It's just absolute constant, isn't it?
Yeah.
What about injuries? Do you think there's more career-ending injuries in NFL? Do you think they're more frequent?
Well, I'd have to look at the stats.
It's a tough one. Like I say, it's a very good debate to have on the comparison. I've played rugby and I've been around American football, played in one as a kicker.
Yeah.
you don't get battered like you do on the line.
You get tackled,
basically. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And but it's I mean I played rugby union, not rugby league. But rugby league, when I watch it, I'm just sat there shaking my head all the time, just going like, these guys are psycho.
Yeah.
It's at a different level.
Yeah.
I wonder if if you got the same CTE issues that you get with American football.
I'm sure you do,
because you're getting hit by a train, you're in car crashes regularly.
There's issues with sort of like dementia and stuff over here, isn't there? With rugby league, rugby union, even with football now, we're just heading a football.
Yeah,
so.
I listened to someone talk about that with the old leather footballs, saying that it was the amount of people with Parkinson's and sort of dementia and things like that are old players.
Yeah,
it came to light about 10-15 years ago, I think it was.
But it's two fantastic sports for me. It's just high-end energy, impact, speed, agility, like they said,
strength,
and it's just so great to watch both
incredible
sports.
Athletes.
It's kind of a debate that doesn't really mean anything, but at the same time, it's one of them where you watch them both, and I'm like, you've got to be nuts to do both, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
they think, well, they can. They don't get as hurt when they fucking driving with their heads in that.
Take bare knuckle boxing, for instance. Fighters pull their punches to a degree to avoid breaking any bones in their hands, while in regular boxing, the padding in the gloves protects the fighter's hands, resulting in harder blows and the higher likeliness of concussions to occur. Does this mean the NFL is tougher because of the higher chances of serious bodily harm? Or is the NRL the tougher sport because of the lack of protective gear?
So I was training at MMA and having a couple of fights while I was playing rugby league.
Well, I would imagine that just the sheer tenacity and cardio that you would get from rugby. Rugby is a tough fucking sport.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think Americans should play. Rugby, in my opinion, sacrilege. People will say sacrilege. It's just inherently more badass than football. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there's no question.
This pad thing is ridiculous.
The argument is NFL actually suffer more from CTE because you've got blokes flying out of nowhere and their brain is going crazy everywhere. Whereas NRL at least has the protection of, I don't want to cut myself, I don't want to be head-on-head clash.
Them flying at each other head first, that doesn't make them tough, that makes them lunatics.
Whoever you agree with, both the NRL...
I kind of agree with that. It just makes them crazy bastards.
It's a really good point, isn't it? The way that they're probably going even harder because they have got that protection.
But you've got that protection from immediate injury potentially, but the long-term effects are probably worse significantly.
Possibly, yeah.
I think it's, when you look at it though, a lot of rugby's played where it's not. I mean, they're showing clips here of like full-on head-on sort of like collisions.
Yeah,
a lot of rugby's not really played like, 'cause it's more passing. You can pass. You can have a chain of 7 or 8 passes. Down the lines.
It flows more than NFL, doesn't it?
Rugby league's a little bit different because you've got the 5 tackle rule.
Right.
You've got 5 phases, don't you, of tackling, and then so people sort of like go forward, tackled, back up again, tackled again. So it's like they're not charging in always like that. It's not someone full running at full speed like that. Not always anyway. Whereas NFL, 90% of it's running. Full speed.
In the league, a lot of it's sort of like close quarters grappling as well as getting to the floor. A lot of the time, it's not like sprinting for 20 yards full pelt and getting smashed in the face. It's a lot more subtle than that, isn't it? Quite a lot of it.
It's funny because it's saying there about not a lot of people know rugby union, rugby league, and the thing. But USA do have a decent rugby union team. They're not that bad.
Yeah,
I've seen them play, and they're not. Don't get me wrong. They're not like in the same level as like England, Australia, New Zealand, teams like that. But they're not far off.
Decent level, though.
They're not far off. I mean, Argentina have got a decent team.
Yeah, Argentina
are quite good.
Italy,
but they're not far off like Romania or
and
countries like that who've got decent rugby teams. But USA's up there with them sort of thing of having a decent team.
Yeah.
That doesn't make them tough, that makes them lunatics.
Whoever you agree with, both the NRL and the NFL are incredibly physically demanding and require a high level of skill, athleticism, and endurance. Both codes should be given the respect they deserve regardless of which sporting competition you're a fan of. Let me know which of the 2 sports you think is the toughest in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this.
I enjoyed that.
It's good that. It's like I say, it's a massive debate that people always have purely based on the fact one's got pads and the helmets and the other doesn't.
Yeah,
and a lot of people always compare it. And it's usually somebody who plays the sport either or a fan of the one sport and
you're biased towards your.
You're biased towards your.
It'd be
sport.
interesting to see. I mean, I think some have gone from rugby over to American football, haven't they?
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see their take on it and see what they think because they've actually been there on the ground.
Both at a high level.
I think that's the only way you could get a really true sort of like perspective of it. Really, but both massively tough sports.
How common are concussions in rugby?
Well, don't they have what's it, the
I think they have a concussion rule, don't they? Where
there's a concussion rule where they go off for a bit,
and they can bring like a replacement. I think, can't they, these days?
Is it a regular occurrence? People suffer with concussions, though, because it seems to be quite regular with NFL, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't watch a lot of rugby league. I watch more rugby union, and so I don't really know how many concussions there are. I know what it's like in rugby union, and it's quite there's a lot.
Is it
pretty prevalent, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But I think they're a lot more tighter on it these days.
They've changed some of the rules as well towards tackling as well. So you can't spike someone, can't go above the neck, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's
I think they're a lot tighter on actually diagnosing concussion as well, aren't they? Whereas 10 years ago, you get a bang on the head, they'd probably just treat and put a bit of cold water in the face and just let them carry on. Where now they're sort of like diagnosing it a lot better, I think. So
even the rules of coming in from the side in rugby union, you're not allowed to do that. So that sort of like takes that out of the way. So you sort of like you're seeing what's coming on, what's happening in front of you.
So not like blindsided.
How many NFL tackles have we seen where someone's just stood there daydreaming and then they get
not expecting it.
Cut in half by someone from the side.
We've seen loads of videos like that with biggest hits and stuff.
Yeah,
but I don't think we've ever done rugby league's biggest hits.
No,
I'm not sure.
No, I think we did. I think we touched on Aussie rules football at one point.
Something like that.
Big hits, but I don't think we've really done much rugby.
That's a good one to probably have a look at as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that NRL is just like, I mean, I think NRL they have a game every year where the winner of the NRL plays the winner of the English leagues.
Right.
It's usually someone like, I don't know, St Helens against
like Brisbane or something,
Brisbane Broncos or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
And it's usually a really, really good game.
Yeah.
But it's that's to sort of like to find out who the champion of the world is if you want a rugby league. But then they have the Rugby League World Cup, obviously.
Yeah,
but I don't think it has as big a following as Rugby Union. Not over here.
I think Rugby Union's probably bigger, isn't it? I think
Rugby League's a northern sport. There's not many teams down south in Rugby League.
I think they've got a London team after these days. But
not sure.
They used to have a London team.
They did,
but
yeah.
I think it's still going, but I'm not too sure. I guess it would be, but it is definitely a northern sport.
They call something like Catalans down there.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. But it's definitely a northern sport. They're all around this area as well. St Helens, Widnes, Wigan, Leeds. Salford.
Yeah.
What are Sale?
Rugby Union.
Are they union?
Yeah, union.
Yeah.
So.
Right, I don't really know much about the difference between the two, to be fair.
Yeah, a lot of their players come in the pub.
do they?
Yeah. I don't even talk to them.
Are they the drinking pints of piss lunatics?
Yeah.
Vomiting in each other's faces for fun and stuff.
But the night before a match.
Yeah.
Or the day of the game. On the way. Yeah. The huge, mate.
All the rugby lads I've known growing up have been lunatics.
Yeah.
But a lot of posh boy lunatics.
They are posh. It's a posh sport.
Yeah, and it's weird. There's a bit of a like...
sport, definitely.
Well, my kids went to a rugby school.
Right.
And that was like, they're all come out with these posh accents and everything, playing rugby and scrapping on the pitch, and I'm like, where's all this come from?
Yeah, it doesn't suit, does it?
Doesn't fit the bill, yeah.
You don't tell them that, though.
Bizarre. I know, right?
No.
Anyway, it's good that. Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you think. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.